Hello, and welcome to Do You Really Care? Okay, people, let's be honest for a second. If you walk past a group of teenagers today, what are you more likely to see? A cigarette or a vape? Exactly. We were told that vaping was supposed to end smoking, but instead, it feels like we just created a brand new addiction. So let me ask you a real question. Does the UK have a vaping crisis? Or are we just pretending that everything is fine because it looks healthier?
In April, the lower house of the British Parliament approved a historic plan to create a smoke-free generation.
Let's start with the cold hard facts. In 2024, 10.6% of UK adults were cigarette smokers. That's 5.3 million people. Now here's where things flip. 5.4 million adults now vape. For the first time ever, vaping has overtaken cigarette smoking in the UK. Now that should have been a victory moment, right?
Because rights or entitlements in any way, and indeed we want to help them to quit. We are supporting them by almost doubling the funding for local stop smoking services. But instead this bill is looking to the future to give the next generation the freedom to live longer, healthier, more productive lives.
But instead of fewer people becoming addicted to nicotine, we just changed the delivery system. Same addiction, new packaging. And unlike cigarettes, vaping doesn't come with the social shame anymore. You're not a smoker, you're just someone who vapes. The difference matters. Let's rewind for a second. Vapes were meant for one group, long-term smokers who couldn't quit. That was the pitch. But these companies realized something. You don't grow a billion-pound industry by helping people stop using your product. So what happened? Fruity flavors, neon packaging, devices that look like highlighters, and £5 disposable vapes with 600 hits. This wasn't harm reduction, this was rebranding nicotine.
Public Health England, they are now currently opening up vape shops in their hospitals. They know it works, they know it saves lives.
Here's where things stop being debatable. 1.1 million children aged between 11 and 15 have tried vaping. Let me say that again, over 1 million kids. About 400,000 children are vaping right now at this very moment. Crazy. Before anyone says it, no, they were not smokers at first. This is nicotine addiction from scratch. Let's be very clear about something. This is textbook corporate marketing psychology. The same tactics big tobacco used for decades to hook a new generation of smokers.
I know it's not good for me, but I've been smoking for 20 years, and this is the first time that I've ever gotten off smoking.
And now they're being repurposed by vape companies and nicotine brands. They only care about lifetime customers, and they've known this since the 1950s that the earlier someone starts nicotine, the more likely they are to stay addicted for life. Smoking among young people was on the decline. We were winning, and then they introduced a product that smells sweet, doesn't leave ash, and doesn't look dangerous. This is the same psychological hook used in cigarette ads back in the day. Anyone remember Joe Camel, a cartoon character that was more recognized by kids than Mickey Mouse at one point, and drove youth smoking up simply because it looked appealing? So tell me this, how exactly did this happen?
Like many other countries, the rate of vaping among minors has been increasing in the UK, and research shows it's now more than double the smoking rate among kids.
So here's one line I hear again and again. Vaping is safer than smoking, sure, and so is getting punched rather than getting stabbed, but I wouldn't recommend either.
For years and years, executives from Big Tobacco perpetrated the myth, with a straight face and often on oath, that smoking wasn't harmful.
Vapes still contain extremely high levels of nicotine, toxic chemicals like formaldehyde, which can cause cancer and irreversible lung damage, and also metal particles from heating coils. There are documented cases of serious lung damage, including popcorn lung. And here's the scariest part. We don't even know what happens after 20 to 30 years of vaping. This is the long-term study, and the participants don't even know that they're being included.
So are we on the precipice of a new health crisis, or is vaping truly a better option than tobacco?
We only recommend evidence-based, medicinally licensed products to help smokers quit.
I think we're all trying to focus on how do we allow people to have a better lifestyle, to live longer, to make healthier choices, and we have alternatives that exist.
So is this a crisis or not? Let's stop dodging it. For adult smokers trying to quit, vaping might genuinely help, but for teenagers, non-smokers, and kids who would have never touched nicotine, this is a failure, not because vaping exists, but because it was allowed to be sold like sweets.
I think consumers want alternatives and want to be free to choose those alternatives. And that is what we're hoping to achieve in the United Kingdom and everywhere else.
We didn't reduce harm, we normalized addiction again. This is a warning sign, because every addiction starts the same way. It's normal, it's everywhere, and nobody thinks it's a big deal until it is. The real question isn't, is vaping better than smoking? It's why are so many people addicted to nicotine again in the first place? Drop a comment down below. Do you think vaping is the solution, or is it just smoking 2.0?